The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
And welcome back to another episode of The Credit Authority. Once again, I am your host, Rhonda Kulch, and I am so glad that you tuned in today. We always want to start our segment by thanking our sponsors. So thank you to Equity First. If you are experiencing credit and or financial challenges for yourself or for your business, consider reaching out to any one of their trained professionals. They are bilingual, nationwide, and waiting for your call. They can be reached at 631-714-4822. And now that we got the logistics out of the way, I am so excited to bring you an amazing show. I have scheduled 4 premier women, and we are going to speak a little bit about women empowerment and women in business. So with that said, my first guest today is my friend, Kelly. I'm going to botch your last name.
It's all good. I'll step in and help you out. It's Codrington. We only rehearsed it like 5 times. It's
so okay. It's Kelly. You don't usually focus on that. Or especially, you and I connected, believe it or not, through social media.
Yes.
And that's usually rare for me. I don't normally connect with people on social. I get a lot of people that reach out to me.
Sure.
But I decided to do this segment. And sometimes you have to go out into a different marketplace to try to find new people to work with.
100%.
And that's really how we connected. So I had the opportunity to really speak with you off air and connect. And I love, again, today is all about women empowerment. So awesome job for being a fantastic photographer.
Thank you so much for having me. I think it's a beautiful thing that you opened your forum to speak with like-minded women who, are on a path to finding the best version of themselves as entrepreneurs. So to have this platform, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I love it. So let's talk, and again, I know we have Jean Marie coming on and she loves Let's Talk Dirty, but let's talk dirty for a minute.
Is that your logo? Is
that's her little
motto?
Her little motto. So let's talk for a minute about, again, women empowerment, women in business. When did you open up your business?
It's really funny because as a photographer, empowerment is huge for me. It's my passion. It's my why. I've been in photography for 5 years. It's funny, actually, if you really want to go back, I had a Polaroid camera in the Hamptons back in the early 2000s when I was in college. I used to sell Polaroids at the Foggy Goggle and CPIs, and
if it makes you feel better, back in the day, I'm obviously much older than you. I'm you probably could be my daughter, but back in the day, I was a heart girl, and it was. I
was at the reunion last summer. Actually, I never made it to shots. I was always the Polaroid and Rose girl.
Same here.
You were.
So that's where I was going when you said Polaroid camera.
It kind of gave me a little bit of a complex.
I don't think I was scandalous enough to be the shot girl. I didn't want to let people, sip alcohol out of my belly button.
I wasn't there. And how ironic is it that we're in the same room breaking energy all these years later?
Well, they are still in business. They do fantastic work. I am still a fan
100%
of what they do. Unfortunately, they will not be bringing back Hospitality Ball this year, but they did an amazing job. So with that, you were doing Polaroids back in the Hamptons. And, let's go back there. Let's start right there.
Sure.
You're a female. You're young. You're out there. You're trying to create your pathway. What were your fears at the time?
At that time, it's having to keep the motivation within yourself because, even as a 19-year-old in college, it's like I could pick up as many or as little shifts as I want. So you have to find that fire in yourself. I think I'm a spiritual person, so I'm a firm believer that your path is already predetermined. So I could kind of make sense of it more now as I look back on it than I did in the moment, if that makes sense. I would say the biggest fear, though, just working on that type of job that I was at a young age was being self-disciplined to stay on top of myself, to get the shifts, to make the money, to not fall behind. And I think that still stands true, just on a different level as an adult entrepreneur now.
So back in the day when you were doing Polaroid, it was a female-dominated position.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about when you stepped out of that position and you had to really be the first woman that you were competing against other men in the industry.
It's tough. You want to believe that vibe does not exist. And I am a part of a lot of different networking energies, forums, meetups, attempts. And I will say that there are certain
you can say it, girlfriend.
There are certain platforms in which I feel that I am not taken as seriously. I barely even willing to be heard, and it's just it's a feeling for me, and I know I'm not crazy in feeling it, and it still exists. It's still out there, but that's fine. It's all good to me. That's just because you never elevated to where the world is at and the possibilities of women entrepreneurs. And I'm sorry if that scares you, but
yeah. and again, we're going to speak to other women as well that also are up against male-dominated industries. The big joke for myself is, I've been in business. I opened my first corporation at 18, and I've always worked in a male-dominated industry. So when I meet people and they see me and, I'm this 4'11", I don't want to say I gained a little weight, but 4'11", 100 and something pound, I'd walk in.
By your arms. Nice arms, I have to say.
And people would walk in and I would actually almost say, like, when I meet them, I go, I'm just a dude. I'm a dude's trapped in a female body, because I feel like there's not enough women that are confident enough to just come out and be themselves, because they're either, I don't know if we're allowed to say them, or, they're perceived to have these really strong personalities, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I'm told all the time I have strong alpha energy. And it's funny because I don't know if I was born that way or if I have been led to become that way. And I don't know if maybe you're able to speak on that because you've been doing this hard and a lot longer than I have.
I think you grow into that, to be honest with you. I think
you tap into it.
When you're a business owner, you're in business, and a big part of that is that you want to perform well for your client.
100%.
Whether it's a service that I'm doing or a photography session that you're doing, you're there to perform for your client. So you're always putting your best foot forward to make a great impression. But along the way, you have to create boundaries, right? And you have to learn how nice is too nice. How nice is it if a client comes back, or maybe there's some difficulty. So I think as the years of being in business have progressed for me, I've learned from those experiences. And there were times where I was afraid to voice my opinion because I didn't want to get trapped, right, in that. And then there was a point in my life, and it was a few years ago, where I just set myself free. And my opinion was that I don't want to offend anybody. You're still going to get the best version of me. But if I'm a little bit more aggressive, it's because I've learned along the way, and I'm setting a really good expectation.
Absolutely. Right. Just somebody, as a woman just sitting in front of you on your platform, to take a step back and just see where you've been is the big picture when deciding, how you want to interpret your energy. You've clearly gotten to this point for a reason, so your boundaries are to be respected.
100%. And I love that, and thank you.
Sure.
So we always want to, again, we're talking about, women and women empowerment. So tell me about, I know you do a lot of networking.
100%.
How do the women in your networking groups help lift you up?
Yeah, it's really funny. Just as a side note, just for any other entrepreneurs that are out there listening and wondering how they can grow, I was just telling the two other women that are sitting in the room with us, a lot of photographers will say to me, like, you're so busy. How are you so busy? You have so much business. And I'm like, because I'm out there. I'm introducing myself. I'm connecting with people. And even when I feel like maybe I'm detouring from the original question, but I just feel passionate, about getting this across. Even when we had spoken, it's not about my product. It's not about, it is, of course, a large portion of it is because people are coming to me for good pictures, but it's the connection. And I never want to lose that, because if I lose the desire to get to know my clients and, take a step back and relax to get to know them, then it's just like any other job for me. I'm no longer operating off of passion. It truly just never feels like a day's worth of work. It does. Trust me, I get burnt out. I, don't stand strong on my boundaries sometimes, but it's about the connection for me. And as far as like meeting other women and utilizing my networking on that level, I think I've met a mix of people who say that they are there to empower other women and that they want to lift other women, and they're just saying it because it looks good for them. It's like it's a good advertisement, and they don't necessarily mean it. But then I've also met the other half who are very genuine about it. And I'm just a big energy person. I truly feel that if you have good intention, good heart, good soul, you're not intimidated, you're confident in who you are, everything is always going to fall into place. So just chill out.
So just for the sake of time, we have
Sure.
time for one more question.
Cool.
What advice are you giving to young female entrepreneurs right now?
Don't overthink it. And you're going to have to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to have to feel really stupid sometimes. You're going to have to put yourself out there when you know you have a lot to learn. Never stop learning. Don't think you know it all. And just stay and give yourself grace. That is like my daily saying. Like, okay, yeah.
You're good.
Okay, cool.
Don't worry, they're not going to cut you up.
Here. Give yourself grace. Don't get caught up on the mistakes. Don't get caught up on the bad days. Don't get caught up on the people who you're not going to make happy no matter what. Just keep moving forward, one foot in front of the other.
I love it. And Kelly, if somebody wants to reach you, how can they touch base with you?
So I will go ahead and drop my Instagram. It's KCollections Photography LI. Facebook, KCollections Photography. And then, my website is listed on all my socials as well.
I love it. So stay tuned. We're bringing you another fantastic guest.
Thank you, Rhonda.